الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله قال عز وجل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اثنتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس الصحة والفراغ صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله. Every single person, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed them with 24 hours every day. So every single day when we wake up in the morning, and this really applies to every human, every individual that has this opportunity on a daily basis. Every day when we wake up, we have a new 24 hours for us to use and do things with. And one of the most obvious things we notice is that every single individual, every single human has this opportunity. Everybody has the same opportunity. Everybody has the same time. And everybody has the same ability to make use of that time in a constructive and productive way. But what we see very quickly is that some people, they achieve a lot. Some people do a lot of good things. Some people manage to progress very quickly in front of everybody else. Some people will notice that in those 24 hours, they'll come to the masjid 5 times. Some people in 124 hours, they will open the Quran and recite the Quran 3 or 4 times. Some people then be learning about Islam. Some people will be engaging in some kind of charity work. Some people will be progressing. They will be exercising. They will be looking after their diet. Some people will be learning more about Islam, learning more about themselves, educating themselves. Some people will do lots of good things. Some people will do nothing in a 24 hours. But everybody has the same time. The only reason some people do come to the masjid 5 times a day is because on their list of priorities, coming to the masjid regularly is very, very high. So they will come regularly. If somebody is very busy and has many priorities, it's still possible for that person to put coming to the masjid at least once a day on his list of priorities. And if that thing is there, that's something which he will do. He will be able to make use of his time. If somebody wants to recite the Quran every day, regardless of how busy they are, if this is something they want to do, then just like going to work is a priority, just like sleeping a certain number of hours is a priority, just like a person will make sure he eats food, then just like these things are things which a person will have to make time for. In the same way, a person who wants to make time for Islam, make time for the Quran, and wants to make time to come to the masjid and to improve his salah, every person has this opportunity within him. This is what we know from time. Everybody has time. Everybody has the ability to make the most of it. And as soon as time goes, it's never going to come back. We know an entire year in the Gregorian calendar just passed. We have the new calendars. The reason we got new calendars, because the entire year has passed. A whole year, a whole 2018. This entire year, now it's passed, we're never going to be able to get it back. Regardless how hard we try, we'll never be able to say, in 2018 I achieved this. If the moment has passed of that year, if that entire year has passed, we can never go back and say, I could have done this, I could have done this, because we'll never be able to do it. All that remains is this regret, is this I could have done this, I could have done this. That's all that's left behind. And regret is a feeling which nobody wants to have. When we look back at 2018, we'll look and think of things which we could have done, but we didn't achieve. So looking back at time which has passed is a very useless thing. And one thing we should always focus on is the time that we're living in. This is where we are now. This is what we can do something with. This is where we have an opportunity to actually change ourselves and change other people. And valuing the moment that we're in is something the Prophet ﷺ, not just the moment, but all of our opportunities. He mentions in a hadith, اِقْتَنِمْ خَمْسًا قَبْلَ خَمْسٍ. Now make sure you value 5 things, make full use of 5 certain things, before another 5 things come and finish the first 5 things. And the Prophet ﷺ, he mentions that شَبَابَكَ قَبْلَ حَرَمِكَ, that when you're youth, value that before you become old. وَصِحَّتَكَ قَبْلَ سَقْمِكَ, value your health before you become ill. وَفَرَاغَكَ قَبْلَ شُغْلِكَ, and your free time before you become engaged in different things. And the Prophet ﷺ mentions وَغِنَاكَ قَبْلَ فَقْرِكَ, and your wealth before you become poor. And finally the Prophet ﷺ says, and value حَيَاتَكَ قَبْلَ مَوْتِكَ, value your life before you die. 5 opportunities the Prophet ﷺ mentioned. And each of these opportunities, they are diminished because of time passing. When a person is healthy, when a person is young and he has youth and he has health and he has opportunities, he has free time, and a person doesn't make use of this, it's possible that a person, he will grow older and he will pass through time and he will stop having health. He will stop having free time. He will stop eventually. The Prophet ﷺ mentions that اِقْتَنِمْ حَيَاتَكَ قَبْلَ مَوْتِكَ, your life before you die. Eventually, everybody's life will be over. And life is only made up of days and minutes and hours and months. So if we value every second, every minute that we're in, we're making good use of our life. If we're not currently doing something useful or trying to do good things, then that specific time has been wasted. And this time, once it's wasted, it never comes back. This is why the Prophet ﷺ, to emphasize the value of these opportunities, the value of time, he says, value these 5 things. Otherwise what will happen is that because of time, all 5 things you stop having them. So use them to your advantage. Do something useful. Make yourself better. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned that, make use of these. So we ourselves, we can assess for ourselves, what is it? How do we make use of this time that we have? And the Prophet ﷺ mentions, to further prove this point, he mentions how much of a valuable thing this is. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned that ni'matan, there's 2 big blessings. مَغْبُونٌ فِيهِ كَثِيرٌ مِنَ النَّاسِ. Many people are confused with regard, they are unaware of these. They are not valuing these 2 blessings. The Prophet says ni'matan, 2 blessings, things you should appreciate. Things which Allah has given you. They've not happened by accident. And the Prophet mentioned as-sihha wal-faragh, 2 things which, if we think of our lives, and these words of the Prophet ﷺ, where he says there are blessings in your life which you're ignorant of, which you're unaware of. It's almost like you don't even know you have them. Such massive blessings. Allah gives us siha. He gives us health. He gives us the ability to walk and to walk around and to talk to people, to see things, to perceive things, to listen to things, to smell things. All of these abilities that Allah has given us, every one of these is a blessing. This is called siha. The ability to be healthy. This is one blessing Allah has given. And the second, the Prophet also mentions faragh, to have free time. To have hours in the day where you are free to do something, to do what you want. And the Prophet ﷺ describes these 2 things as those blessings which everybody's forgotten about. So now we can think to ourselves, how much of a blessing is our siha? For how many years are we going to still be able to walk around healthily? To be able to sit however we want healthily? To be able to come to the masjid healthily? To pray salah properly, healthily? Until a time comes where we may have to sit down and pray salah. A time comes we can't walk to the masjid anymore. A time comes where we can't even use a bus anymore. We can't even use public transport. At the moment we have these blessings, but we very rarely realize how fortunate we are to have these blessings and the things we can do as a result of them. In fact, we can still fast in Ramadan for those of us that can. What a great opportunity that is, that we get to fast in Ramadan. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ mentions, everything is an opportunity. If you treat it as an opportunity, you can take benefit from everything. Everything will work in your favor. And if we use the opportunity as something which benefits us, if we look back at 2018 and think of how quickly it passed, or if we look back at our lives, if we're 10 years old, or if we're 20 years old, or 30 or 40, however old we are, and we look at the last 5 or 10 years of our lives, and we think of how quickly they passed. How quickly there was a time when we were in those years, and now suddenly they're all gone. We're suddenly at a completely different age. So 10 years ago, how quickly those last 10 years of our life passed. In fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned in the Quran that on the day of Qiyamah, the people will be asked that قَالَ كَمْ لَبِثْتُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ عَدَدَ السِّنِينَ, that how long did you live in the world? And they would say that لَبِثْنَا يَوْمًا أَوْ بَعْدَ يَوْمٍ, that we stayed probably one day or a small portion of the day. So despite having lived for years on end, when a person's eventually, how long do you think you lived in the world? They would always think that it's just a day or a bit of a day. In fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in another part of the Quran, He mentions that كَأَنَّهُمْ يَوْمَ يَرَوْنَهَا لَمْ يَلْبَثُوا إِلَّا عَشِيَّةً أَوْ ضُحَاهَا. First thing, the people say we stayed a whole day. In this, at the end of Surah Nazi'at, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions that these people, it's as if they would say that we stayed for just one morning or one evening. And then, in another part of the Quran, to further prove this point, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions that وَيَوْمَ يَحْشُرُهُمْ كَأَنَّهُمْ لَمْ يَلْبَثُوا إِلَّا سَاعَةً مِنَ النَّهَارِ. That the day that we resurrect these people, it's as if they didn't even stay for sa'a. Sa'a literally 20-25 minutes. Even for a sa'a of the day, the people would not imagine that he stayed in the world. So this is what will happen afterwards. And even now as individuals, if we look back at our own lives, right now, here and now, We can think of how quickly the last 10 years have passed, the last 20 years, 30 years, how quickly our life is passing. And all that leaves, if we passed it well, we feel happy. If we passed it not well, we just have regrets. So right now we have the opportunity, because right now we're in the moment. So right now we have the opportunity to make a change. If we do well now, then the future is good. If we act properly now, then when we look into the future, we won't have to have this regret that this many years have passed and I didn't achieve anything. This many months have passed and I didn't achieve anything. So this is something which we should always work towards. In fact, one thing we could consider that, imagine if we had a bank account and on a daily basis in that bank account we were given £1,440. Every day it comes into the bank account. All you have to do is go and take it out. It's there for that day. If you don't take it out today, then tomorrow it'll be gone. Then you have a new 1,440. Every day you get it. But today's 1,440 will not roll over to tomorrow. And tomorrow's will not roll over, and you can't bring tomorrow's today. You just get it once every 24 hours. Once every 24 hours you get this amount put into our bank account. So what would we do if we had this opportunity? Every one of us would go to a cash machine and we try and pull out all of this money. And we try and use all of it and do something useful with it. If we have to spend it, we try and spend it. But all of us will try and attain this currency that we have. Which is why, in fact, Hassan Basri, rahimahullah, he mentioned that adraktum aqwaman. He was talking about the value of that the people at that time had for time. Adraktu aqwaman, sorry. That I found a group of people, and they were more greedy on their time than you guys are with your money. The way you guys value money, these people used to value their time more. You can't buy their time from them. This is what he said to these people. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, he mentioned that ما ندمت على شيء ندمي على يوم طلعت شمسه نقص فيه أجلي ولم يزد فيه عملي. I don't regret ما ندمت على شيء. I've never regretted anything more than when a day passes and in that day I didn't improve myself, I didn't make myself better. So anyway, going back to the example, if every day £1,440 we get into this bank, you can't roll over. You can't roll over to the next day. You can't roll over backwards. So you can't take tomorrow's today. You can't take yesterday's today. Only every day. All of us will try and make the most of it. We'll try and take it. Because we know we can't, it's not something which is going to stay till tomorrow. It's going to be gone. In the same way, every single day we're given 1,440 minutes. And we have an opportunity to use them. Every single day we have this. Yesterday we had this. The day of Thursday yesterday. We were given 24 hours. We were given this 1,440 minutes to do something with it. Achieve something with it. Whatever you want to do, you can do with that time. Some of us, we may have used some of that time. Some of us, we may have wasted a lot of that time. If we multiply that through, the whole of 2018 went 365 days. 365 times we had the opportunity of 1,440 minutes to do something with it, to achieve something with our life. But how many of us done something constructive with yesterday's 1,440 minutes? And today that we have the same thing, we've passed so much of today. More than half of today's hours have gone. So are we planning to achieve something for today? And tomorrow we've got another 1,400. Tomorrow's day of Saturday, we have 1,440 minutes to do something useful with that day and achieve something. And work towards our goals, try and achieve something. If one goal I make, that for 2018, what goal did I achieve? We can look back and ask ourselves. If I make one goal in my life, that my salah becomes proper. That when I pray salah, from beginning to end, I have full concentration on what I'm saying. When I'm reading Surah Fatiha, I'm concentrating 100% on Surah Fatiha. When I read the surah, I'm concentrating there. In ruku, I'm concentrating on Subhana Rabbi al-Azim. When I stand up, I'm concentrating on Rabbana lakal hamd. When I go in sajda, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la. That from beginning to end, can I keep concentration? One small goal we could make. And today's 1,440 minutes we have, we use them properly to try and work towards that goal. We pray 5 times a day, and when we pray, we focus on this aim that we have. So when at the end of the day we think, what did I achieve today? At least I got closer to perfecting my salah. What about Quran, my relation with the Quran? The whole of 2018 may have passed. 365 times we had an opportunity to have a few minutes to salah, to the Quran. How many of us try to improve the Quran, to understand the Quran more, to develop ourselves in salah so we actually understand what we're reading? 2019 is all ahead of us. These every 360 times still is going to come. We're going to have a chance, 24 hours, we're going to have 1440 minutes every single time we have this chance. What am I going to achieve in these 300 that are coming? Tomorrow, what do I hope to achieve? A lot of us, we waste a lot of our time. A couple of examples, some of us, we waste a lot of our time because other people make us angry. So we spend our time being angry. And it's actually a very physically demanding thing. Mentally it's demanding, and sometimes physically for some people. Some people have to go and let loose their anger by going to the gym or going to a boxing club to get rid of this anger. Because people get so angry. But if we think, what a waste of time. If we can't, somebody else annoys us, and we spend a whole day, a whole month, I'm not speaking to this brother, I don't like this brother, he's annoying. I don't like the way he speaks, I don't like the way he walks, so I'm not going to speak to this brother. What a waste of your life. You're spending your whole life, if you ever see him, you turn the other way. If you look at him, you make sure you don't smile. If he says salam to you, you turn away. I mean, what a waste of somebody's time. You've got nothing better to do than hate another person. This is one thing. Another thing, complaining. We love complaining about everything. It's such a waste of time. Nothing was achieved by complaining. We complain about the government, we complain about the weather, we complain about the masjid, we complain about the people, the society, the people around us, we complain about the car park, we complain, so many things we're complaining about, always complaining. Instead of complaining, let's contribute to the solution. If you've got a problem with somebody, if we can nicely tell him, we tell him. Otherwise we stop wasting our time with him. And instead of wasting our time with hating people and complaining about people, we ourselves become people who work towards our goal. If my goal is to improve my salah, we work towards improving our salah. If my goal is to become more educated about Islam and to learn something about Sunnah, we learn something about Sunnah. If my goal is to become somebody who fasts properly in Ramadan, we make sure we do that. If my goal is to learn the Quran properly, to read it properly and to understand it, then we work towards these goals. Otherwise, every single day we have this opportunity. Because today's minutes which we've had, today's time which we've had, is not something which we can gain back tomorrow. For the whole of last year, for every year that's passed of our life, 365 days, with 24 hours in each of them, 1440 minutes, every single day we have this chance. Every minute's a chance to achieve something. In 10 minutes we can learn so much. Think of how much we can achieve in 10 minutes. Think of how much Quran we can read in 10 minutes. And that's a simple thing. If for our own life, how many minutes do we need to spend on our diet, on cooking properly, on eating proper food? How many of us do we need to start exercising and thinking about our weight and thinking about our body and our strength? And valuing these, the Prophet ﷺ said that value your health before you become sick. This is why a person should be very careful about what he does with his exercise. If we're meant to be exercising for half an hour as human beings, we should all be trying to find 30 minutes from those 1440. We find 30 to go to the gym. We find a few other minutes to focus on our diet. What are we eating every day? What is our staple food? Is it good food? Is it food which is making us healthy? Or is it food which is bad for us? It's very sad. We get emails from the NHS always that the Asian ethnic minorities are more likely to have diabetes and cholesterol. And that's why they used to come in first sight, and they used to do the tests on everything. Because in our communities we're more likely to do it because of the food we eat. So how many of us have thought of improving our diet, taking out some time and improving our diet, taking out some time, having some exercise in our life, taking out some time to improve our salah, some time for the Quran, some time for ourselves to just think about our own lives. Sometimes we need time to sit down and think about what we're eating, what we're exercising, how our salah is. If we have no time, if we don't even give 5 minutes of sitting down and thinking about our lives, then it's very difficult for us to change. If we can just live, we're just going to wake up in the morning, go to work, come back, watch TV and go to sleep. Sometimes we have to think a little bit. 2018 is gone, a whole year, 365 days. So what are we going to do to make sure that this year is better than last year? That needs a plan. I can't make a plan here for every one of you. Everybody's got to take it on themselves. And the only person that can change the way you use time is yourself, because you're the one using the time. Nobody else can change yourself, your own identity, what you do with every day except from you. You decide, every minute you're deciding what you're doing with that minute. That's your life and that's who you are. Every minute we decide who we are, we decide what we are, we decide what we're working towards. And every year, what we focused on in 2018 is now our focus. That's who we were in 2018. We can change that now. Now we can become focused people. We can work harder. We can try and achieve more. We can try and become better. But this is one of the things that we can do at the end of a year, is realize what we've done with that year. And inshallah, with the coming year, we will make intentions to become people who work harder, who achieve more. And on every day when we have these 1,440 minutes, we make good use of all of them. We don't just let them go and waste them. So when we look back at 2019, at the end of 2019, inshallah, we can say that alhamdulillah, my salah has improved, my connection with the Quran has improved, my diet has improved, my exercise has improved, and generally I've become a better person and a more educated person. So I make that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me and all of us the ability to understand and act upon what has been said and value time. The adhan has already been done.